Hey everyone, my name is Uthris, and welcome back to Medieval Engineers, where we are working on our wonderful fantasy of floating islands. We have done some off-camera work in between the episodes. I went ahead and changed up the blacksmith a little bit, tried rotating it and giving it a balcony on this side, and then I just think the stonework fit better in this corner rather than fitting out here overhanging the road. It just didn't make any sense. I also managed to be able to put some sort of battlement down here and a nice staircase underneath the forge to access this area. You get here just by walking behind the well that's beside the blacksmith. The blacksmith is very standard to what we usually make. I did add a nice little sign though, and I guess I should call this more of a metalwork rather than a blacksmith, because he's really just forming the metal and keeping it, and then making probably ingots and things like that to ship out to, like, say, the armor smith or the weaponsmith, and they'll have their own shops probably in the upper tier to actually sell their wares. But, you know, inside fairly open. Standard roof design at the moment. We have a nice little balcony out here. Always a nice resting spot for him. The back forge looks pretty good. I can't wait till maybe there's an actual, like, crafting piece to put in forges to actually do smelting or anything like that. Just once there's actual crafting benches or areas in the game, things like that are going to be so much just nicer looking in general. It's not going to be kind of fudged like these are. But yeah, it's turning out really well. Again, I really love the front view to the commerce district, and this is obviously, when you tell coming just from farmland, you know that okay, this is getting a little higher end. This is becoming a little bit more fancy and things like that. So, hope you guys are enjoying the progress there. Another thing off camera is I built this bridge, and of course it's structurally sound, just like everything else I try and do, in case, you know, someone wants to try and turn this into a siege map, or I can maybe eventually, though. It would be pretty much impossible because the defending team would just have to destroy a bridge, and the attacking team would never get here. But it is our first just fully fixed bridge, and it's going to lead up to the first airship dock, and that'll be the dock mainly for traders and things to come in and drop off goods quickly, and then the land people transporting wagons and things will drop off out at the main gate, of course. This episode we are working on this structure and this structure here. So this is going to be our wood shop, a carpenter's of some kind. And then over here, this is going to be the leather workers, and so they'll be making, you know, leather strips, actual leather hides, things of that nature for our town here. And then I don't know what to put on this side just yet. That might be the Fletchers, because it's a little bit more military oriented. I don't think I'm gonna put the Fletchers in the same thing as the carpenters, because the Fletcher's more like a specialized function. Carpenter, I mean, this person will be building wagons and things like that, so their workspace is going to be pretty different. You're also probably wondering what we have over here, and this is actually going to be, if I can change my hotbar around a little bit, I'm going to build a small garage like structure here for our carpenter. And the reason being is that, you know, there's going to be small wagons to transport goods throughout the area, and so you obviously need a place to build and repair these, and so I'm basically making a small garage. Well, it's not too small, it's really tall, just so you can make sure everything gets lifted off the ground and you're able to work on it. Just flatten that off. I don't want to make this too tall, because that might look a little weird if I do. You can see we'll just use the windmill blades for our nice slope on the roof itself. Try and get it really low to this arch. In fact, I might end up changing the top of this to something just a little bit smaller. That's okay. We can put some stone windows or something in here for this side. Just for something a little bit different. Then we can put wooden above it. Keep it light on those wooden supports that are beneath it. Now the reason I'm using a lot of wooden supports is, one, it's cheaper than using stone, I'm sure, and these people would be definitely going for the cheaper solution, I would think. Let's go ahead and throw some windows back here. There we go. That looks okay. I might try and build something here just so the stone looks a little bit more supported, because right now it's probably just not supported enough. At least for my liking. Alright, there we go. Looks okay. Working wood and stone together to make a nice effect. Sure, we're getting a little bit of a texture glitch, but there's nothing I can do about that. That's just part of the game, so we'll have to just press on, essentially. Let's go ahead and drop in some more flooring for the rest of the standard shop, which would be, you know, our crafting tables, things of that nature. Let's get rid of these. Now, I am starting to lose frames, sadly. And I really wish that wasn't the case. But I don't think there's really much we can do about it this time. Let's do that, and we can just seal off the wall here. Alright. That's okay. Some sort of garage-like structure. Tell you what, let's also put it on the inside here, just to make sure everything is symmetrical in a sense. How's that look? That looks okay. The garage, of course, being the biggest part of this structure. It's probably going to be taller than the rest of the carpenter's hut. Maybe, I'm trying to think of where they would store everything. Probably break this up into 2 rooms. So front storage, back more workshop area. I think that works. Yeah, that works. Let's give them some grass here, just so they're not always looking at stone. But I need to change this to stone so that grass isn't coming through the floor. There we go. We're already at 9 minutes. Supports. Looks like that section's getting a little bit of weight on it, but it's okay. It's okay. And what we're going to have to do is see if this is going out this way. I need these. Just like that. Because we need the roof section to make sense in that area. how it's going to be flush to the garage, essentially. And we can do this shape pretty much for everything else. All right. Plan ahead on your roofing as always, because it's best to build the supports before the roof, since the roof likes to change every time you add a block kind of around it. And I'm still getting lag. That's going to be a bit of an issue as always. It's really just the terrain. I've come to a conclusion it's the terrain, not really the buildings. And I think we're in an awkward spot with the commercial district, that it's wanting to load terrain over there and over there at the same time. And so sometimes it doesn't know what to do. Let's go ahead and plop these down. Like that. Let's grab our windmill blade, which I thought I had on a different tab, but I guess not. Alright. We can see, does that overhang at all? Or is that flush? That's flush. Good. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if I can't get this to work for me. Sometimes you have to add these weird supports just so you can click in the right area. There we go. Is that? I think that's where we wanted it. And then you can get rid of them. Because as long as a section of the block is touching something else, it is essentially locked in place. Alright. Come on. Now, I know I said I wouldn't use too many windmill blades, but I just like them so much. Like, they are one of the best blocks. I also might put a little bit of a winch system in here to be able to lift things off the ground. That's definitely going to be a must. I get the feeling. So we'll do our ribbing. Now with the ribbing, one, it just looks a little bit more detailed than just doing the usual kind of wood just covering up the whole section. So that's why I do it. And then also it allows more light in, which is another reason to do it. I just pretend that the rain doesn't come through. That's essentially my mindset. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Nice workspace in here. Might build some shelving along this wall or something, and then of course a winch system. At some point, let's do the blades up here. All right. There's that, and come on, find the snap point. There we go. Now what you guys don't know, sure, I probably built this pretty quick, considering normally it's kind of one structure per episode, or 1 to 2 depending, but I mean, this follows the same design as most everything else at the moment, so they come together pretty quickly, and I had plenty of time when I was designing the blacksmith again to kind of plan this all out in my head. Man, I really want to put a nice interior in here, but I really don't think it's going to be feasible. I think that's the center point. Yep, it is. Alright. So we're already at 15 minutes and 44 seconds or so. I don't know why I said oh so, and that's exactly where it was, but okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this structure here. And then also kind of this structure, and kind of call the episode after that. Give you guys a little tour of what everything looks like together. Maybe get some nice floor plan of whatever's going past this and its little tunnel. I really like putting supports over here just because we can, you know, cover the road a little bit and it can look pretty cool. I hope that doesn't cause issues with structural integrity. Putting wood on anything like that can cause issues. No. Okay, we're all good. Everything's looking sound. Alright, I'll be right back for the little bit of the tour. Alright everyone, so this is pretty much where we're going to leave off on this episode. I have finished the outer structures for the carpenter's hut. Again, holding off on the inside, just to keep lag down initially. We can easily come back and revisit any building come near the end of the series, but for now, they're all going to be empty. You know, I would love to have a crane in here and things like that, and shelving and storage and upper lofts to store things, and then crafting benches, but it's just not feasible. And I feel kind of bad for not showing you guys that kind of stuff, but for this build and how big it is definitely best left alone for now. This little hut, of course, is going to be the leather workers. Basically, this would just be the crafting area, and then out here would be the tanning barrels and things of that nature. And I'm pretty sure this little section here is going to end up being the stonemason, which will be great. Basically, this tier, we can call it the production or refinement, or the refineries, things like that, that produce the raw materials into different goods to be shipped out to the specialists to be used in crafting items. So yeah, I like the theme going along here. I also added this secondary path, which will be great later on. This is going to be one of the pathways down to access the lower area that's going to be inside the mountain. That'll even have even more shops to have, more storage. Yeah, this island by itself could basically be a town, which is just a big undertaking, and we're just going to be on here for a while. So if you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more creative goodness. If you guys like to see the progress of our wonderful island, I haven't even come up with a name for this, actually. In fact, if you guys have any good names for a nice fantasy city, floating islands, it's a little magical, you know, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see if I like any of them, or if you guys like any of them. You know, feel free to vote amongst yourselves on what you think is a good idea. But I definitely need to find a better name than just Airship Islands, because right now that's about the only way I can describe everything. Anyways, leave a like, dislike if you like the way things are going, or dislike the way things are going, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode.